Welcome to the Coaching Talk Show by Arjun Gaur.
Hi everyone, this is Arjun Gaur, international wellness entrepreneur, and today this podcast is very special with special guest, with a person who is one of the best public speaker and the leadership coach from UAE Dubai directly. Me myself, I personally feel and personally believe to bring best skills for all of us so that by our talk shows, by our events, by our coaching programs can give a best and productive outcome altogether. So today in our this podcast, we have a special guest from Dubai, UAE, and also she's a good public speaker, and I myself personally follow her skills. Amazing, trust me. And now I think time to get the experience from her. So I'm going to introduce very special guest, very special guest. So
Too much.
Anastasia, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to
Good afternoon, Arjun. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. You introduced me better than Tony Robbins is introduced on the stage. So thank you so much.
It's our pleasure actually, and trust me, you know today is the holiday, and but still I'm very excited to have a wonderful this podcast with you. And yes, so our viewers are also very excited, and everyone who all are watching this podcast is really very excited and would love to know some couple of things, the secret behind of this all skills you are spreading all over the world from so long. So first would love to know what inspired you to become a public speaker.
Arjun, thank you so much, first of all, for having me. And though it's Eid holiday and we're recording this on Eid holiday, both me and you are so passionate about people transforming, getting better, developing, improving, anything that takes us on a higher level. Both me and you are doing this in different ways. And we are spending our holidays by sharing our knowledge, right? By sharing our stories, our skills. So basically, what inspired me, it's actually that. Wanting others and contributing to other people's journey, other people's development and progress, because we all evolve naturally, right? It's evolution. It happens either by itself or by our own intention and willingly. So I'm there to be part of someone else's journey. And it happened that I chose to do it through public speaking, but that's just one of the ways.
Mm-hmm.
I also do soft skills trainings on other topics.
Mm-hmm.
And public speaking is something that inspired me. Maybe I think I just went with the flow and life put me on that path somehow. I think I ended up there because I struggled with public speaking. Years back, let's say around 10 years back, I was someone who is in a place that I would just like hide myself like that from any interaction with any group of people. I would be so shy. I would be in let's say in a meeting, and I would sit somewhere at the back of a room and hoping no one says my name and no one asks me to stand up. However, I had to do that at one point and many other times. And I realized that I am not able to do that. I'm so nervous, right? I'm anxious. My heart is beating so much. So slowly, I had to put myself into the discomfort zone of learning to speak in public, at least just to overcome that fear and to feel comfortable so I don't avoid it. So I'm able to build connections and new relationships, because that's what we need in adult life for any kind of industry, for any kind of job. So I kind of let life put me in this path of becoming a public speaking coach, aside many other things that I do in order to help people to transform.
Wonderful, so inspiring, and I can see that but when you are talking about at that time when you were you were not able to face people, and now you are so fearless speaker, so this journey is so inspiring.
Maybe not even fearless, Arjun. It's more of being a little bit more comfortable than before, and having that confidence and knowing why I'm doing it. So yes, compared to who I was before, I'm totally different. However, the nervousness, sometimes it's there, depends with whom I'm talking and in front of what a big crowd do I have, who are these people, because actually nervousness, and I keep saying this to my clients, to my friends, to my trainees, that it's good to be nervous, because nervousness is a sign of this is important.
Absolutely.
However, we don't want this nervousness to impact us so much that we're not able to speak, basically.
So obviously, and we can, if I'm not wrong, Anastasia, we can also add this nervousness as a part of the emotions, and emotion always give us to, better resilience power as well. Sometimes.
Definitely, I agree with you. Yes.
Very nice. And you, I know, as a leader, you are transforming so many leaders by their communication, by their skills, by your skills also. So, would love to know, why do many leaders, struggle with communication, because they become the top leaders, C-level executive leaders, and doing wonderful job at their on domain, but still they are struggling with the communication. So, what is the reason behind of it altogether?
I can't say one reason only, Arjun. It's never one, in my opinion. Maybe someone would disagree with that. It's multiple reasons. Basically, someone is literally has been in a comfort zone for long, and they were just addressing at one point only one type of audience all their career, and suddenly they were promoted to another level, managerial, director level, and then suddenly they find themselves in a different group of people, in a higher position. So there is maybe the fear of authority. Now they speak to the stakeholder, to the senior management, to maybe diplomats, to so many governments. So there is this fear of authority that majority of us actually have it. Others, maybe they just did not learn to communicate to different types of people, because we are as many people as we are, maybe that many types of ways of communicating we have, right? Or we can categorize them in few to find ourselves easier to communicate. So just learning those types of communication, understanding that people process information in different ways. Maybe someone is more visual, someone is more kinesthetic, someone is more auditory. So I, as a leader, need to make sure that when I communicate, I use different kind of words, or I use my body language, or I use the presentation, or I use stories, or I use facts, numbers, and emotions, in order to make sure that everyone can hear me. So that's another reason. Yeah, not being able to just communicate to different types of people. Or someone was more shy, was more introverted, was not communicating, was having a job at the laptop most of the times, and was not interacting with people. And then again, we find themselves in a group of people, they had to do presentations. So it's just getting out of a comfort zone, maybe. So various reasons could be there. And that's why we actually work with lots of leaders, especially when either before getting promoted or after, because they realize, okay, I got the promotion because of my knowledge, of my experience. However, now I have to be more clear in my presentations, in my communication, in delivering those messages. And I have to now convince more people about whatever project they have, for example. So they decide, okay, now I need public speaking coaching, maybe, or I have to do presentations in front of 50, 100, or 5,000 people, like in Coca-Cola Arena. When I had the client, she was always speaking in front of her team. However, there was a big event of her company, and now the CEO pushed her to speak in front of 5,000 people. She just doesn't have experience. So of course she would need help. So again, various reasons why leaders need communication.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very, very valid point you mentioned. And I personally believe that, obviously you mentioned so very well point. Sometimes, leaders are promoting, keep promotion and everything in their life, but most of the time they're not focusing on their communication, because might be sometimes they are not able to, get chance to work on their communication. Sometimes they're stuck in daily routine, operational work in their organizations. And I personally believe, if you are a good leader, you should have the better selection of the keywords in routines communication, routine life of the communication, especially when you talked about communication. So your positive keywords always play a very important role, right? So
True.
yeah, so that's how that's the reason I personally follow when you speak in your podcast also. I watched your previous podcast too, and that's how I got the idea. Yes, Anastasia, and I was very impressed from your content. I'm really sorry and excuse me for that. My body is like sweat a lot, so sorry for it. But the fact is that
You worked out. That's good.
yeah, I might be due to high energy always. So
So listen, Arjun, actually, this takes me to another reason of people not being able to communicate, right? They don't listen to their bodies, for example.
yes,
Or they don't get into the high energy. So they just get stuck into that nervousness, anxiety, fear, and they don't know what to do, how to get out of it. Work out, one of those
both of them.
solutions, basically.
Always good. So what are the most common mistake people make while speaking, Anastasia?
While speaking in public or one-on-one?
Public.
Public. Before we go to public, it's listening, I would say, and one-on-one, right? So many times we have a narrative, a monologue in our head, and we want to say something even before the person stops speaking, right? It's impulsive, so we need to really actively listen. And this goes also in public. What does that mean? Listening to your audience. What does your audience want, actually?
Right.
Do you do it for yourself whenever you're speaking? Are you delivering a message for whom? Do you care about that audience? Do you know what they want to hear? Listening to them means also engaging with them.
Absolutely.
So not knowing where to go, what to do next, what to talk about next. Ask them, engage with them, see what they want to hear from you, maybe. Of course, when it's a meeting, you can do that. When it's just a public speech, you can't interact because you have 100 people. But knowing who is your audience, that means listening to your audience. Who are those people? Are these people seniors? Do you want to communicate with sophisticated words? Or actually, they're simple people who will not understand you if you speak different terminology from your industry or abbreviations. So that's what it means, knowing your knowledge. So that's one mistake, people not understanding who they're addressing, basically who is their audience. Another mistake, I would say, preparation in terms of either not preparing at all or over preparation.
Oh, over preparation too. Okay.
Over preparation, because people prepare, for example, the script, they go and learn by heart, or they have a presentation, they put so much work into the slides, they even hire graphic designers to do for them the design, and they learn. But what they didn't prepare is themselves, their inner state, their mindset, the value that they bring in there. How do they want to be perceived? Or what's their own perception of themselves? What's their self-image? Because the moment I have a good state, right, I'm in a good mood, I have positive emotions, then I'll be able to deliver that message, whatever I prepared perfectly, in a very good way, in an efficient way. But if I prepared everything, it's perfect on the slides, on the script, the words are chosen, but I'm nervous, my mind is somewhere else, I'm shaking, all my mind is in here instead of at the audience, at the message, right? So I might lose it. So that's where the over preparation, or maybe not preparing enough myself, my inner state, and just the material, or not preparing at all, not checking who is the audience, as I said again, not having a proper structure, just going with the flow, which is amazing. Some people are very good at going with the flow, and I struggled with that a lot. I had to prepare myself so much first few years when I practiced public speaking. When now, obviously, I still prepare because I understand how important is that, but I do it in a different way, or I do it faster, or I can improvise on the spot, just like we do now. You are asking me, and I'm just telling you things, right? So over preparation or lack of preparation is another one. And third one, because you asked me for three, this is also linked to the state, meaning being present. People are not present. Again, they enter the stage with the fear of what's going to happen. So they are not present, they are in the future. That's where the anxiety comes from. And when they're not present, they're not able to connect with the people in front of them. I'm not able to make eye contact because I'm thinking, oh, what I'm going to say next. But if I'm prepared well enough, my state is good, I am present, things will come to you because you know your material. I think you can relate to me, especially that you deliver so many retreats. So all your knowledge, it's there, right? So when you're really connected with yourself, information comes, it flows to you.
Absolutely, 100% agreed with you. And the third one, especially when you mention, it's all about when you speak, you connect with your emotions at the present time. That moment you deliver so balanced.
Yes.
Because you are not in the future, you're not in the past as well. So
and then you can read also the room, you can see people's reactions. So if I see that someone is or the majority are like not understanding what I'm talking about, but I don't realize it because I'm not present and I'm just continue, there's no point. I'm continuing just to finish, and from here till here it took me those 10 minutes that I prepared, but actually the value, the content was not delivered. They didn't get me because I was not able to read the room. Maybe I had to pause at times to let some people to process, because we also have different processing times. So it's like small things like that.
Very nice, and I'm sure this point will be helpful for our listeners also, and especially when these kind of the secrets coming out from an expert like you, it will be very helpful for the society, and who all are watching this show or podcast or this video. I personally would recommend it. Important is not what you are doing, important is what you are thinking and then speaking.
Yeah, because it will reflect in what you're doing. Exactly. Yes. So that's why when I work with someone, we always start with here. What's inside here? Yes, we don't start with how I'm going to use my voice. Will I speak louder? Will I speak with intonation, with melody and tonality? Or how I'm going to use my hands, how I'm going to stand, how I'm going to use my stage. No, it's going to start from here with how and what I think about myself. Who am I as a speaker? Because that's what confidence will come from within, actually. That's how we work. And this is the methodology of my mentor. We start with our self-image. If I'm not making sure that my self-image, my self-worth is high, then there's no point that I'm going to fake it. I can act out. However, eventually it's going to be felt by the audience.
Very nice. Impressive. So, a memorable transformation story, Anastasia, from your coaching journey.
Please repeat.
A memorable transformation journey. A memorable transformation story.
Journey.
Yeah. So basically, any transformation journey that you remember as of now, and it was a good memory for you in your coaching journey.
Okay.
Any
what comes?
Yeah.
In public speaking, of course, because that's what we're talking about. And what comes to my mind first is actually my latest client. I'll tell you because it's fresh, obviously. So that's why
I just when I was going through your profile when we collaborate, you started your career as a crew member, if I'm not wrong.
Correct.
Right. Started or you worked, right? So
yes.
So just share a bit any transformation story of that time also.
I was see, when I was flying, I wouldn't be able to contribute to people's lives in the way I do now. I was doing it, but on a, let's say, on a different level, like being in a society and being positive and complimenting people, smiling, giving advice if they ask for things like that. Yes, it was always present in my life. However, maybe to be fair, what I remember now, transformation, not again by doing something on purpose, but by me doing what I'm doing and inspiring others. Like leaving the job, for example, and taking the leap of faith and changing into what I'm doing now. So many people were actually inspired, and they called me, messaged me and said, wow, when you left and knowing what you do now, it kind of gives a hope, but wow, there is a possibility, there's an opportunity to change, to do something completely different. And many people I know that after they did it, or they came to me to ask for help on how they can do it. So that's related to aviation. And coming back to your previous question about a transformation of a client who just happened a few weeks back, we are still working together because she's a VP and she got promoted, as I told you, before or after people are asking for. So she got promoted around half a year back, and she noticed how she's struggling to communicate because I'll not tell you who exactly is her audience, with certain types of people of a certain profession which she's not used to. And she felt like she has the lack of confidence. Obviously, in a coaching session, we have to understand what's happening, how she's behaving, what is exactly she's doing, and how she's speaking to those people. So we did just small things that I asked her to do in the next meeting, and she already saw the change. And few practices that I asked her to do during the week until she goes into that meeting. And just after one session, she already felt a little bit more confident. Of course, confidence grows as we do things. It's not overnight. Yeah, there are some insights happening, some breakthroughs. However, confidence grows as we do things, as we gain experience and gain knowledge, because confidence is actually a process, not a subject. It's a verb, it's an action. You are becoming confident. You are gaining the confidence by doing things, not just, I'm not going to go to Arjun, please give me your confidence, right? I can't do that. I can't go anywhere. I can't say that only after I do this, I will be confident. It doesn't happen that way.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very fair point. And I can completely relate with that because during my coaching, I'm doing coaching from a decade, from last 10 plus years. And especially when, so, there's another thing, another perspective also. Sometimes people think public speaking skills is only for the professional growth, right? Sometimes they feel like, we will have to learn public speaking to just grow in our domain, to grow in our audience, and whatever. What do you actually think? Public speaking is just for the professional growth, or this is required and mandatory for the personal growth also, personal life?
Personal growth, professional growth, relationships. I found myself being better in the relationships, communicating better after I practice public speaking. Because if I can address multiple people, that means it must be easier for me to address just one person. Because I'll know how to express myself, and that's one way. And then I'll know how to listen to the other people. So it's definitely not only professional. Plus, even if you don't aspire to upgrade yourself, to promote, to get into business or anything, just look at the simple occasions of us going to a wedding and you have to give a speech, or being in a birthday and someone is asking you, please make a toast. And it's simple occasions that, oh my God, I can't stand up and say it. Though I love this person so much, but because of my fear of how people will perceive me, I will not do it. And I missed the chance to say and express my love towards this person who is important in my life.
Yes.
They would appreciate it so much. We'll have the memory after years, right? So for simple occasions like that, or maybe you're just on the street. Have you noticed how many social experiments are done? Like people on the street, they come with the mic and they just want to ask you something, right? An interview by the TV or just any kind of initiative, and people are running away from the microphone.
Yes.
People are running away. Why? Why? Because they are afraid to be seen. in front of a camera. It's an audience because they know how many people might be looking at them, might watch them. So definitely public speaking. It's, I don't know in which, maybe it was in Forbes. It's one of the skills that it's a must to be learned in these days. It was since longer, but now it's required. Yes.
You have you have mentioned very valid and important part for people in these days. So many relationship issues are rising every day. Being a coach, I am taking care of so many relationship challenges as well, and most of time, I can say 40 to 45% of the time, the challenge is all about expressing their gesture, their emotions. That is all about, representation, what you are talking about right now, what you are feeling for your loved one, you are not expressing them, right? So this is the gap for the relationship, and that's how public speaking will work for their relationship too. You mentioned so very good point, I can say. And especially people who all are watching this, so if you are actually really facing this kind of the challenge in your relationship also, I would suggest you either try or practice from today, or obviously after the session I'm going to share the detail of Anastasia. You can reach out to her for your one-on-one sessions. You can book a slot. She will share better advice for your best speaking with your loved one.
Thank you, Arjun. I'm here to help. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Thank you.
Because I was there before, and I know the struggle. So obviously, if I can help others to overcome that struggle, then why not? Why are we here on this planet if we don't share what we know?
That's great. And even me, as a obviously founder of Life's Honor, I also personally believe if we can collaborate very intellectual people globally like you, and our other partners, and if we can help support others, so why not we should take initiative for that. And I really appreciate your initiative also for the this partnership, this collaboration with us. So just would love to know, how do you see this global partnership helping future leaders?
First of all, thank you for this collaboration. I appreciate it because I see how passionate you are to help others. And the fact that you are based in India, I am based in UAE, you have one type of experience, I have a different one. I work with certain people, you work with other people. So by sharing or by changing, yes, you coming here, me coming there, I bring a different experience, you bring a different one. I can't say that even if I stay another 20 years in public speaking and learn from the best public speakers, I can't say that I know it all, because it's impossible to know it all. By diversifying our experience, by being also in different spaces, right? Putting ourselves in different places, in different countries, that's how we also grow. If I am growing, that means I'll be able to bring more value to my clients. So first of all, it benefits me. Thank you for that. And by me growing, I will be able, obviously, to help others even more. Because maybe one day I'll meet someone who has a similar experience to someone maybe like you or anyone else that I would meet in your country, right?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anastasia, and really appreciating your initiative and your effort for the society. And especially, we are going to do some kind of the exchange program all together, where you will also come here, and we are going to organize some retreats. And we are obviously going to invite leaders also in our retreat to will have your experience in person, one-on-one experience, group sessions. So I'm sure this collaboration is going on that next level in that couple of months or days, I can say. And I'm also very excited for the same. And especially, I personally believe into the energies, like your energy on that level. And obviously, when I connect every time, either one-on-one and today in this talk show also, I personally myself feel so motivated and encouraged. And the best part is with you, like as you already mentioned, we learn every day, we learn lifetime. And after 10 years also, I personally feel when I connect with you, after even writing my 3 books, sometimes somewhere, you have a person where you can actually explore more best keywords and the best lines forever. That's you for me, right?
Definitely. And I'm looking forward, Arjun. Long time I haven't been to India, so that's a great opportunity to visit again. And especially working with you, you having the experience of breath work. That's so necessary in public speaking, actually. And